Okay. And this isn't, okay. This is not a how to start a nefarious group 101. Okay. That's not what we're doing here. Don't do anything illegal ever. This is for organization only and for getting things done. Okay. Damn, I should have said that first. Wow. Check it out. We're gonna try something a little bit new. Okay, I've noticed watching some of my videos that while reading along, it drags on like a lot, and it doesn't start getting pretty good until towards the end. So, and that's when I'm just kind of like winging it. So, we're just gonna wing it this time. I've got a loose pussy script here to follow. So, we're just going to try that. Without any further dudes, let's get into it. What are reparations? So basically, it's defined by the United Nations. The adequate, effective, and prompt reparation is intended to promote justice by redressing gross violations of international human rights law or serious violations of international humanitarian law. Now, back in 1865, General William T. Sherman had drafted up Special Field Order 15. That order stipulated that all Confederate land were to be seized and divvied up amongst the 40,000 freed slaves at that point in time. That's where the 40 acres and the mule comes about. Now, with that original order, the land was supposed to be divvied up, okay? And they were able to keep that land for X amount of years. After a while, they can buy it back from the government at a reasonable rate. So, yeah, they were given land, but not really given land. So, after Lincoln's assassination, President Johnson rescinded that order and gave all of that land back to former Confederate landowners. Today, 40 acres and one mule for 40,000 freed slaves in today's money would total out to 650 billion with a B dollars. But see, reparations does not have to be solely monetary gains. It was in the form of 40 acres and a mule back then because that would have shifted the balance. That's the whole point of reparations. This isn't money, it is balance. So let's get a little bit more specific here. We went from 40 acres and a mule to pure confusion because so many people have different ideas on what reparations are and how they should be doled out, especially here in America. But here in 2023, you could give every single Black person in America all of the money in the world, and it would not mean shit. Why? Because it's not balance. Public schools need better funding, period, no matter who's teaching, because Black kids are everywhere, but also updated curriculum. Politicians need to be spanked because what the fuck is going on in Mississippi right now?
It has decided to uphold a racist law in Mississippi, and they admit it is racist, but they're still going to uphold it anyway. They have now voted to uphold a Jim Crow law that Mississippi's white supremacist leaders adopted in 1890 in an attempt to disenfranchise Black residents for life. White lawmakers designated certain crimes that they believe Black people were more likely to commit. The court's conservative majority admitted that the Jim Crow law was steeped in racism. They admitted it. Mississippi Speaker of the House, James Berteman, said, and I quote, Mississippi's Constitutional Convention of 1890 was held for no other purpose than to eliminate the N words from politics. Same game, same plan, different format, different land. Same thing, ladies and
But
gentlemen.
before anything, we need to come together on a single topic. We are not unilateral on anything. What is it that we can agree on? I personally vote that we agree on the fact that reparations are needed. Now, we'll go a lot more over this in part 3, but for right now, before we get into the nitty gritty of things, just know that analog is your friend. Morse code is your friend. Moving along. In order to make demands, we need to be able to have a spokesman or a few spokesmen, not a single one. More on that in part 2. And again, this is why we need to be able to rally around one idea, one common idea. Now, here comes the fun part. Start organizing locally. Hold meetings in your house, at a rec center, in the park. Just gather up in a town hall like fashion and just let the people be heard. Now, I can't tell you what's important for Black people in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, because I'm not in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Every district is different, and so every district will have different needs. Now, this part's important because it must be a democratic system. Everybody's got to be cool with whoever the fuck is in charge, right? Just put all the nonsense away, okay? And this isn't okay. This is not a how to start a nefarious group 101. Don't do anything illegal ever. This is for organization only and for getting things done. Now, as people filter in, needs will be more known. Address your community needs as they come along, and then go and make demands to your representatives. No violent demands, okay? Nothing illegal, but follow through is a must. The importance of gatekeeping. Now, with all of the people that are filtering in and out, there are bound to be agitators. Being able to vet and verify your people, that's going to be up to each and every individual group. If you're doing something nefarious and the cops end up infiltrating, then, well, that's kind of on you. I'm telling you, don't do anything nefarious. I'm saying certain things do need to be gate kept within our community. So let's say there's a Black person that happens to be involved in the FBI and they happen to be at these meetings. Well, don't freak the fuck out because guess what? They're Black too. And as long as you're not doing anything nefarious, then everything is all good, right? You are gathering up demands. Not everybody has the same issue from district to district, county to county, city to city, state to state, whatever. So you gather up the community needs, take that to these politicians, okay? So that way you can say, hey, I took it to my mayor. Like, I took it to you guys. You guys didn't do anything about it. And so this is why we are now starting these programs, because that's going to be the next part, being able to start programs. Because okay, I guess this is what happens when you freeball it. I was planning on saying this towards the end of the series, but I'm just going to go ahead and let it loose right now. They're not going to give a shit. Okay, we can ask for it all day. We've been asking for it all day. We've been for asking for it all the decades. Okay, and it's just never happened. So, you do have to go through the correct channels, but when they clearly don't do anything, you're just going to have to do it for yourself. They're not going to give a shit. We're not getting reparations out of the goodness of their hearts. It's not just going to happen that way. We're going to have to demand it, and when they don't follow through, we're just going to have to take it. Now, as far as like gatekeeping from other cultures, I do believe that other cultures do stand to benefit listening to what's going on. But I mean, I guess that would just be left up to how comfortable your particular group is. Me personally, if I were to be holding a group, not saying if I am or not, because some things do need to be kept on the hush hush, but if I were to be holding a group, then there would be certain stipulations. Do you go through this life, you know, uh, as a black person? Like when people look at you, do they see a black person? Do they see a racially ambiguous person? Do they see a person that's like, your mammy could be black, but I don't know. Is it one of those? Okay, then we need to hear what the fuck you got to say. Point blank period, boo. Do you move through this life as a black person? Okay, then we need to hear what the fuck you got to say. But not everybody is going to be like that, and that's perfectly fine. However you decide to do your group, it's perfectly cool. That's on you. Whatever, whatever. So no, I don't believe that everything needs to be gate kept. I don't think that every conversation needs to be gate kept. However, when we talk about gatekeeping and the importance of it, and I know that that's kind of like a kind of subject, not a lot of people want to talk about that. That's not a friendly topic to discuss, but it is something that we do have to discuss. Okay. When you look at the history of when certain movements that were started by the Black community were started, they ended up becoming infiltrated with other things. And so, and okay, I kind of fuck it. So, in any group that wasn't able to be infiltrated by other groups with their own agendas, then the FBI broke it up. So again, as long as you're not doing anything nefarious, don't be using this as a front to sell drugs. Don't be using this as a front to launder money. Like, don't do that, because then you start to decay and erode what we're trying to do. Look at Black Lives Matter. Okay, that was a that we needed that. We needed that. We needed that. And then the people who started it just have they ever been audited? Have they ever been audited? So, oftentimes, when we enact plans to better ourselves and our communities, we end up becoming infiltrated by agitators and we end up losing our agenda completely. But if you really are worried about any type of law enforcement infiltrating your group in order to cause mischief, because you do have to look out for those types of meritorious ass niggas, go and watch that video if you haven't already. But yeah, you do got to watch out for people like that as well. And if you just don't want people like that at all in your group, which is perfectly fine, it's your group, then you need to have safeguards against that. Just be able to keep that in the back of your head. So, I'd like to wrap up this episode with this final thought. What is the end game? Ideally, these hypothetical district leaders will be able to come together and bring their ideas to one big giant table. Now, I know what you're thinking, but Marissa, isn't that how we already operate today? What with the mayors and the electorates and whatnot, right? Well, yes, obviously, but those people don't represent our interests. We've been placed on the back burner for so long that even if every single politician in America was Black, we still wouldn't be able to get the leg up that we need in order to have a level playing field with everybody else. I really believe that a small reason why we don't have groups like this anymore is because so many people are afraid to just say, yes, I'm pro Black. I've said this so many different times that, and I'll continue to say it. Being pro Black doesn't mean that you have to be anti anything else. So when we say, can we just have something of our own? Why are we always made to feel guilty about that? We always want to invite somebody to a cookout. Why can't we just have the cookout? What's wrong with just having the cookout with the folks that's already there? Why we always got to invite somebody? Why we always got to have extra folks? I don't understand that. So, yeah, not even everybody at the cookout get along. Can we get along with each other first before we start inviting folks? We need to be able to get our stuff together before we're able to just start branching out and inviting folks everywhere. When your house is in chaos, okay? When your home is in chaos, your mama and your daddy is fighting, and your sister's fighting, and her boyfriend is always over and they always fighting, and your brother has girlfriends and they fight, and they friends come over and they fight, and everybody's always fighting. Are you gonna bring somebody over to your house, somebody that you care about, into your home? Why everybody fighting like that? That's weird. That's a weird thing to do. I wouldn't recommend that. Personally, I completely understand that we have one common enemy. When I say we, I mean the 99% of Americans. Okay. I understand. And a lot of us understand the fact that we have a common enemy, but we can't fight that common enemy if I'm too busy fighting with my brother and fighting with my sister over trivial ass shit. Let's get this stuff together. And as an ally, if that's what you claim to be, as an ally, I feel as though you should respect our space enough to take a fucking step back, let us deal with our shit, okay? And get your people in order. How about that? You I hear so many people, "Oh, I love Black folks and I'm an ally and I do this for the Black community, I do that for the Black community." White folks, "Do this for y'all and I do that for y'all and yacht and this, that, and the third. And what else can I do? What more can I do?" And I sit there and I look at them and I say, "Well, where you from?" And they'll say Kentucky or here or Alabama or wherever. And then I'll say, "Well, you got a grandpa, you got an uncle, you got an auntie, you got a mama, you got a daddy. What do they think about somebody like me?" "Oh, they're just so bigoted and so this, that, and the third." Okay. Well, instead of trying to, come and do everything that you possibly can and get your hands all over here, why don't you get your hands over there? Okay, because it's motherfuckers like that be killing us in broad daylight. Okay. So why don't you get them in order? Love us. We still love you. We still love you. We still love you. But let us get our shit together, please. Okay. And we don't need nobody hovering over us. "Oh, you need help? I'm going to help you pack this bag. I'm going to help you pack that." No. Back the fuck up, please. Let us handle our shit. And I'm not trying to be condescending. I'm really not. But I get it. I completely understand. Paper cuts. Paper cuts hurt. Follow me. Just follow me here. Paper cuts that hurt like a motherfucker. Have you ever gotten a paper cut like right there? Like right in between your shit? Like right there? That bitch hurt. That bitch hurt. It hurt like a motherfucker. It's bad. It's painful. Painful. Terrible. White folks, y'all got a paper cut. Okay? We coming. All right? We coming. Okay? But I got a broken leg. My sister got a broken arm. My brother got a broken back. Okay. So we coming. Hold the fuck on. Because the same motherfucker that broke my leg and brought my sister whatever the fuck I said, her leg, and brought my brother back and gave you the paper cut, it's the same motherfucking person. We're coming. Just, we gotta bandage our wounds first, okay? We gotta bandage up wounds. You wanna help us bandage up wounds? Cool. Go tell somebody to get the paramedics. Go tell somebody to get the fucking paramedics. The paramedics is the reparations that were needed from the US government. Just go tell somebody. Shit. Because we've been saying it for years. Ain't nobody listen to us. So y'all go and tell somebody. I don't know. Do whatever it is that y'all need to do. Get prepared. Do whatever it is that y'all need to do. But let us get our shit together. Okay. On our own. Okay. We don't need you to hold our hands. Okay. Because we're not children. All right. So let us get our shit together. Okay. Think of it this way: white folks, black folks, reparations here. Okay. That's what everybody thinks. It doesn't go like that. It goes white folks starting out, black folks starting out, reparations hits, and everybody's elevated here. Y'all don't get that. Y'all don't see that. The shit that's going on in Jackson, Mississippi right now, that shit finna come to a town near you. You don't see that? You don't think that they can get you, Sarah Jane and Billy Bob? You don't think?
Less than 4 hours ago, the Senate voted to block changes to D.C.'s criminal code. So the next stop, President Joe Biden's desk. The president has said he will not veto this. He's going to sign off on it. And that means D.C.'s new criminal code will not become law.
The Senate voted to block this measure 81-14. Critics think it goes easy on crime. Supporters think D.C. should be able to pass their own laws.
Yeah, now, by the way, D.C.'s crime laws haven't been fully updated since Congress wrote them back in 1901. So you might be asking, what happens now? The D.C. Council has to go back to the drawing board and come up with some changes.
Honey, I promise you, they don't give a flipping flying fuck about black or white. Okay? They're looking at green. All right? But they testing this shit on the black folks first. So if you really and truly think that the shit ain't finna, I'm just saying, hey, let's plug up these cracks in the boats before the whole ass ship sank. Anyway, that's it for me, y'all. I'm done talking. Bye. To be able to handle fucking ass shit itches. Fucking fuck, that itches. Wow. Wow, okay, everybody. We haven't been unilateral on anything. Fuck. We're not unilateral. Fucking A. We're not Can I just pick another one? No, we're gonna tackle this fucking word. We're gonna fucking tackle it. Unilateral. 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 And especially for Black Americans. And it seems as though a lot of other people that are not Black. Okay, stop. Don't do that. They tried it with the civil rights movement. I'm not going to go no deeper into that because I don't want to be shadow banned. Like, I'm fairly positive I probably already am shadow banned. But if I start talking about that, oh yeah, y'all really ain't gonna get none of these videos.